I've tried to make this video. It's my fourth time. Fourth place, third camera. Different camera each time. And this video, shout out to Tay Sizzle. Read your comment this morning, right as I was thinking, like, do I want to just make the video wherever I am and just put out the way it comes out? And Tay Sizzle says, hey, I've been watching you since I was 10 years old and I'm 18 now. Tay Sizzle, you made my day. And it was just the thing that I needed, because as much as people think I inspire them or give you good ideas, it might even work even more powerful the other way around from you all. And it's been a while. It's been 118 days since I posted a video on here. There are a few shorts that came out like the last few days, but I just did that right now. And it's challenging anytime. Let me put it like this. Do any of you all feel like it's challenging sometimes to make a big shift? And not one that you're forced to make, but one that you voluntarily choose to do. Or something you choose to do, like you choose to take on losing this weight. Like me, I gotta lose a lot of weight, and wanting to, whatever it is, a big shift. And there's this like when you're shifting identities, the thing that I've realized is when you shift identities, when I shift from being, for example, a pro athlete, as many as you know, for 12 years to becoming a full-time traveler, that's a shift in identity. Now, there are characteristics that carry on, but it required a huge shift. And the more I think about it, I think sometimes it's better to jump than try to explain to the townspeople why you're jumping, how you're going to jump, I think sometimes it's better just to show. So yes, this video I filmed many times before. I filmed it in a marketplace. I filmed it walking around, wanted to create, explaining what's going to happen, what you're going to see on this channel, because it's going to be a big shift. And I'm not sure how to do it correctly. And I have to, like, people that know me give me my own advice. Like, just do it, Luke, just film it. And I'm like, I can understand why people don't do it, because it is scary. Because I've realized that safety is something that is defined, people define it through familiarity. So I made a TikTok about this that got a lot of response. I said during 2020, everyone was told to go home. That was the safest place to be. And at this time I was living in Bali, and I'm like, well, if they're going home and they're from this country and I'm from this country and that person's not, and everywhere, that means everywhere is safe, because where I'm at is home for somebody. So then it made me think that safety is is familiar. This is how we define safety. If you've noticed, roles have been like the definitions have been changed. People are changing definitions. Even safety is changed to not meaning a place where we can't be attacked or we're better off, but it means a place of familiarity. And it's allowed me, as I've been doing calls with people lately, I've realized what is the scary part is that you might not like a job you're in or a place that you're living in. You know you've outgrown where you are, but because it's familiar, it becomes safe, which isn't the problem. The problem is that because you see that that's safe, you see everywhere else is unsafe. Are you guys following me along? So that means you're leaving from this place right here. This place is, I don't like it, but it's safe because it's familiar. This place, I probably would like it, but I don't know it. It's unfamiliar, therefore it's unsafe. So I hope you can follow me, because that is a big shift. And that's how I feel with what I'm doing now, with the things I'm putting out, the content I'm putting out, the different places that I'm at in social media. And one of the things I've thought is I've been around people who have shown me amazing things. And I've seen amazing things just online and through not knowing the people and watching them. And I've realized when I've had a chance to be close to somebody who's doing something and they're explaining it to me as they do it, I learn so much more. And I get to see how they do it. I get to see it firsthand as if I'm there. You know, lately, I'm from Cleveland, as you guys know, and watching LeBron and his son. And I'm like, well, is it the genetics that got his son there? Or is it just his proximity to LeBron James that got Bronny to be where he is athletically? And the access that he has. I'm like, well, when LeBron shoots a three and he misses it, we're like, he missed, and he looks weak. That looked a little off when he shot it. But then I'm like, well, if you got in LeBron's, talk to him after the game, he could say, well, you know, I didn't do my legs enough this week. I didn't get enough electrolytes. I didn't do this. And now that he's taught you and you've got that inside scoop, you know how not to make those mistakes. You might still make them, but you can at least know you can start to question it with the questions that, with the form of questions that will help get you a better answer. So I want to start showing you, and this will evolve just as we all evolve, just as Tay Sizzle has evolved from a 10-year-old to now an 18-year-old. It's like this evolving of, I really want you all to have the best life you can. And I want you to be as happy as you can be in the moment. I want you to see that everything you have is right where you are, and anywhere you go, to know that you're going to be there. Knowing, I just did a call as early as, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, with someone wanting to move away because they thought that would solve their problem. But I'm always saying, when you get off the plane in the new country, you're going to be right there waiting for you. I'm reading a book right now that called God is Hiring, or God is Still Hiring. I can't remember. It's by the same author who wrote God Never Blinks. I think that's the name of it. And one of the stories in there went something like, this person wanted to move away from the town, so they left. They got to the new town and they saw an old man sitting on the bench. And then he asked the old man sitting on the bench, this new person traveling, he said, "Hey, are the people nice in this town?" And the old man on the bench said, "Well, how were the people in the town you were in?" And the person said, "They were just grumpy and closed off." He's like, "Well, the people here will be grumpy and closed off as well." Another traveler, same thing. Left their town, arrived there. Old man still sitting on the bench. He said, "Hey, excuse me, sir." The old man said, "Yes." He's like, "How are the people in this town?" And the old man said, "Well, how are the people in your town where you just left?" And the person said, "Oh, they were cheery, they were happy, they were really friendly." And he said, "Well, the people here are happy, cheery, and they're friendly." And I really think it's because it's who we are and how we see the world. And almost sometimes getting to a point where it doesn't matter if you move from here to here, you're going to be there. And when you realize that you're going to be everywhere you go, your best chance of having a new experience is to go there with new eyes. I've looked even now as someone who travels like me, the travelers that I meet who are like me can be very unhappy because we're used to traveling. We're used to seeing new places. We're used to just knowing people just enough that we can miss them and we leave. So staying in one place is just like being in a place where we don't want to be. Even if it's great, we don't want to be there. And recently, I've been on the move a lot, but there's been months at a time that I've been in the same place. And I think one of the things that people who travel a lot suffer with is we miss being places. Meaning but then we have to understand we can't be on the beach in Bali and also be at the pyramids in Egypt. And also be sitting with our feet in the water in Malta. But also be sliding down the sand dunes in the Canary Islands. Or walking through open fields watching kangaroos in the Gold Coast of Australia. Can't be sitting under the Eiffel Tower having a picnic or having watermelon outside the Tower of Pisa. Just a few things that I can think of that I've done where I can't do those things. So now sitting where I am can be almost like a depressing thing if I look at it through those eyes. So I hope that these upcoming, everything you're about to see now, it's crazy because I've had these things uploaded and ready for about probably almost a month. And just now I want to make this video right now to almost like welcome you to this next, not a next version even, but just welcome you to the next level or the next floor. I think as we go through our stages of everything, I've learned this growing up, is that the floor, we go to the next floor, we go to floor 5, we go to floor 6. And with every floor, every time you look out the window of a new floor, you see a different view. Even the same floor on a different side of the building gives you a different view. But definitely as you move up in the building, they give you a different view. And I think one of the things that I see people do is sometimes when they've evolved from that season, they stay in it. They keep wearing shoes that no longer fit them. They stay in a place of comfort just because outside feels uncomfortable. And I heard a quote by Gary Brecka, I believe that's his name. He said, and I'll end on this. He said, getting old is very simple to me. And I was listening to him like, what's he going to say? He's like, it's an aggressive search. It's an aggressive seeking of comfort. Think about that. Getting old is an aggressive seeking of comfort. How can I make it as comfortable as possible for myself? I notice it just wearing my Crocs around all the time. I wore them around a lot as I was traveling in different places. And then you get to a point where you're just like, why do I have to tie shoes? That's so annoying. These shoes are so comfortable. I don't have to bend over. I slip my feet right. And it's like, no, we have to have uncomfortable. Comfort, yes, but we need to have areas that are uncomfortable, areas that challenge us, areas that push us, areas that make us to grow. It's only through that changing, or as Tony Horton says, through that muscle confusion, that we actually get to challenge and put stress on us in a different way. And as I'm learning and I'm growing and I've been doing things, I realized that one thing I hadn't done over these 8 years since I started YouTube was take a break. Coming up on 8 years. No break. Make the transition in the moment. Then I had to think, as I'm starting to get back in shape, is the healing is the growth. It's getting quiet in here. The healing is the growth. Because going to the gym feels great. You're burning calories, but you're tearing the muscle. It's only through that tearing that it allows to heal. And it's only through the healing that it grows. If you constantly tear and tear and tear, you eventually have injuries that set you back. So this is a welcome. I'm happy to be here. And I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for myself to be able to teach you all through new eyes, through a different way a different method maybe of showing you. We're going to start as well having weekly master classes again. We're going to have some programs coming up. All these things in the soon to be future. And at the same time, I'm excited to be back here with you. And what more needs to be said? I think Tay Sizzle. Thank you for your comment this morning, or I saw it this morning. It was a little push I needed to remind me that someone that's now 18 years old started watching me when they were 10 years old. But if I would have stopped after week 2 or month 2 or year 2, I would have never got to be there for you and to share my experiences with you. And now you're about to learn it through a whole nother way. But because of people like you and reminding me and people who are supporting me, it reminds me that it's bigger than just me, bigger than just you. And as one of my college teammates would say, JP, let's go, baby. And until we speak soon, remember to work smart and to be brave. And don't forget to smile. Ciao.